Well, had a eventful, I don't know, 18 hours or so. Let's see, got a lawnmower in yesterday, right after I made a video saying the guy didn't, well, let's see, I don't know. He said he was going to show up on Thursday. That's what it was, and he ended up showing up on Friday. We got the mower down here, and it was an electrical issue. It was obvious there was something wrong somewhere in the electrical. You turn the switch, it wouldn't turn on. And of course, you got to make sure that your brake is down and all that stuff. And once I was confident that I had all the safety switches bypassed, I went ahead and started taking my meter, measuring everything. Battery was fine, the fuse was fine. The carburetor solenoid, it wasn't clicking on, but there was electric going to it. I checked the ignition solenoid, it was working, everything was working. So I figured, well, either we have a bad ground or the starter's not working, because I tried to jump it. I took the positive cable from the battery to the starter, which should have jumped it because you have a complete circuit if you're using the same battery, and nothing. So I started looking at the ground a little bit with my meter, and there was no current from the ground. So I took the post off, the battery cable off the battery, and it was just corroded. I cleaned it up with a brush on both sides, positive and negative, fired right up. That was an easy money to make. I mean, the electric diagnosis is a little bit more difficult, but as long as you follow the steps from battery to starter, you'll find it. It's in there somewhere. You just got to remember the fuse and all that. And if it's a safety switch, all you got to do is disconnect the wire from the ignition coil, and you'll bypass the safety switches, except for the brake safety switch. In which case, if you tried to start it with the battery cable, it would have still started even if the brake safety switch wasn't working. So it's just, you got to follow the steps. It was a little bit more confusing because, you know, usually you get a clicking noise when you have a ground problem. So, of course, today it's raining, so I went ahead and started the generator this morning, and it wouldn't start. It would start and die, and instantly die. You choke it, it would blah, 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 blah. And it sounded like it was choking itself to death. So I took the choke off, and I would try to start it, it wouldn't start. It was obviously, it was just getting too much gas, and I just couldn't figure it out. So, I mean, it's 4:30 in the morning, so not thinking too clearly. So I took the air filter out to see if I could see if the choke was moving. You know, when I moved the lever to see if the lever had fallen off. It was moving fine. I left the air filter off, tried it again, started right up. And I looked at the air filter, and it was just clogged, absolutely clogged. And I just couldn't figure it out. I mean, it's a little foam, styrofoam, you know, not styrofoam, but the foam air filter that you wash out. And I wash it out at least once a month. I changed, that little Power Smart, not the ones I run the welder off of, but the ones I charge battery off of. You know, it's like a $250 generator, and it has done a fantastic job. I don't want to talk bad about it at all. It just keeps running, but it is using a little bit of oil. But this thing is, when I say a little bit of oil, that's all it's using. Yeah, you don't put a lot of oil in it. There's just not a lot in it. So when it does burn a little, it drops down to that oil shut-off sensor and shuts off the generator. Well, it's very little oil that it's used. There's still oil on the dipstick. So I just go ahead and change it. So I'm changing the oil probably, I don't know, every 10, maybe 15 hours. I'm not putting a lot of hours on it. So, you know, once a month I go, while I'm changing oil, I just clean that filter. The only thing I can think of is there is a little pink weeds, basically, but I'm going to call it a flower patch for lack of a better explanation, that has grown up around the generator. The only thing I can think is maybe those pink weeds that have just sprouted up recently have pollinated or something. I mean, it's late for the year for pollination, I think. and it just got sucked up in that air filter. But it was clogged. It ran fine for 3 or 4 hours. So I'll try it again tonight. It's still, I can hear a little popping every now and then, so it's still getting a little bit too much fuel. So that air filter still may have some clogging in it. Of course, it could just be that it got clogged up again. What else is going on? So we decided we were going to go to the store today. And of course it's raining. And we hardly ever drive when it's raining. Hardly ever. And I even mentioned to Carolyn, do you remember last time we drove in the rain? It's just not something that we do. Like, not that we try to avoid it, but we just don't go out that much. So I guess it just has never fallen, you know, rain has not fallen on the day that we decided to go to town. So, you know, we pack up and, I don't know, 9 o'clock-ish, we get in the truck and I'm getting wet. I get in the truck and start the truck up, and the low tire pressure sensor is on. Now, I rotated the tires, but I didn't change the computer to sense the correct one. So it's saying the front right, or excuse me, the front left tire is low, which means it was actually the back left tire. Like I said, it's backwards. I could read the instructions on how to do that and change it. I just, you know, that's a lot of work. You gotta deflate it and inflate it, so it's just easier just to remember that they're backwards. Of course, it's confusing. It's like, okay, which one is it? I don't know why, but you sit there and stumble around for a second or two trying to remember that it's on the back. But anyway, I figured it out pretty quick and went down back there and I put the air compressor, you know, the battery operated air compressor on it. And it was at 14 pounds, and all the other tires were at 37 pounds. Now, here's the thing that I didn't understand. This is Saturday. The last time we drove it was Tuesday. And so it's lost, what, 23 pounds? Is that right? Yeah, 23 pounds. It's lost 23 pounds of air. And in that time frame, and I'm thinking it has been sitting so long that if there's an air leak in it, it should be completely flat. Now you'll see that tire, this one here, is kind of down in a ditch, so there's not a lot of weight on it. As a matter of fact, if you try to pull up any further, it'll start spinning the tire. It's just out of, you know, starting to come off the ground is what I'm trying to say. So it's not like it had a lot of weight on it to make that air come out if there was a leak in it. But you would have thought after all that time, no matter how minor the leak, it would have been all gone by then. And the thing is we just went to town to get flea medicine. We went straight to Walmart and back. We didn't take any back roads or any goofy trails or anything. We didn't do anything extraordinary. Just went to Walmart, came right back. It was, I don't think we bought anything but the flea medicine. But they were getting so ate up. We ordered it through Amazon, but the mail just kept getting delayed, so we went ahead and got it. Now we have so much flea medicine, it'll last us the rest of our lives. So anyway, I aired it up, and I thought, you know, before I get this thing completely full, I guess I should see if there's a leak in it. Because I was just having a hard time convincing myself that there was a leak. It should be completely empty, but where else would the air go? It's not that cold. You wouldn't lose 23 pounds with a, what, a 5-degree temperature change? Which is basically all we have here. So I got some soapy water. Carolyn's still sitting in the truck. The truck was still running. I put some soapy water over it. Sure enough, there was a nail in it. So, I guess stranger things have happened. I mean, in my mind, it just seemed odd that it took so long for it to deflate. But, and then we picked up a nail on the road. I mean, yeah, it can happen, but you would think, you know, more likely in a parking lot or, anyway. So, I got a pair of side clippers, you know, pliers, you know, side cutters. That's what I'm looking for. Got the side cutters, and I got that nail out. And then I had some plugs. I always keep plugs in the truck, always. Just for occasions like this. Of course, I don't know how to get a nail out. Maybe I should carry some side cutters too. But we were still here. And I guess if it was outside, you know, out in town and we picked up a nail, I could go buy a pair of side cutters. But anyway, so I got that plug, put it in the hole, sealed it right up, aired it up. We went to the gas station to air it up. We were 25 pounds. I figured that was enough to get a half mile down to the gas station. Got it aired up, and it held the whole way there, whole way back. So, but you know, I had to do all that in the rain. The thing is I probably fixed the tire faster than what most people would have changed the tire. I'm all proud of myself about that. So, I don't know. It's nice having the tools and stuff available where you can just resolve an issue when something like that comes up. It's pretty nice. And I've been without tools before. I mean, it's tougher times in my life. I've been without tools. And it's always nicer to have tools. It's always nicer to have a situation solved. I'm telling you, it's really coming down. This is a gully washer. It's rained all day. It hasn't really stopped. I mean, it slows down a lot, but then picks right back up. I think I'm going to jump off so I can stop yelling at the camera like a fool. So it's not going to be a very long video today, so I apologize. So if you click this up next box and take you to a video over my other channel, we appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you to have the tools, you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.